Sales is not a dirty word. I know many of you listening to this probably have felt at some point in your life that sales is a dirty word, or you feel uncomfortable. Maybe you're in sales and you're not as effective as you'd like. Well, maybe you're not in sales and you feel icky, if you will, when you think of sales. Well, this video is for you if you fit in any one of those categories, or if you just want to get better at sales and you want to master sales. And here are a couple reasons why sales is not a dirty word. In fact, I believe, I'm a little bit biased, but I believe that sales is one of the most noble professions on the planet, and one of the most long-standing professions on the planet. Because if you think about it, when you're selling something, ultimately what I believe you're doing is you're helping somebody get what they already want. Now, can some people in sales be misleading or unethical? A lot of you are thinking of the used car salesman you see in a movie, right? No offense to any of my car salesman people out there, but there's that persona. It doesn't have to be used cars, but where there's somebody that's taking advantage of somebody else. You see it sometimes in some of the Wall Street movies and real estate, right? But it's not the case for 99% of people in sales. Okay. Sales is one of the most noble professions on the planet. And here's why: because you're helping somebody get what they actually already want. But check out what happens. I'm a little bit of a psychology geek. I've got my master's in organizational psychology, my bachelor's in regular psychology, and I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. But I've been geeking out on neuroscience and the human condition for like the last 15 years or so. And I absolutely love it. So I love what drives motivation. I love what drives behavior. And check this out. When people want to buy something, what happens, especially if you're wanting to buy something, in the thousands of dollars, right? What happens? Automatically, our brains go to work to try to protect us. I've talked a bit about this on other videos where our brains don't always know the difference between fear and danger. Fear and danger, two very different things, right? Where if you're ready to jump out of a plane, you're going to have a certain level of healthy fear, right? Certain things are going to happen in your body. Cortisol, other chemicals are going to start being produced in your body. That's very natural fear. You could go on a hike and come up against a grizzly bear, and guess what's going to happen? That's danger. Might be a little bit of fear too, but that's danger. Same exact physiological response is going to happen in your body. But you can't always tell the difference between the two. So check this out. Your brain is designed to protect you, right? From the days of running from saber-toothed tigers, it's naturally going to get into that fight or flight response when it is fearful, unless you're able to distinguish, this is just a healthy fear, I'm about to make a large purchase, this is natural, versus danger, run, this is bad for me, I got to go the other way. And that's why a lot of people, especially when they're getting ready to buy something of a lot of value and a large cost, a large investment, if they don't take action in the moment, when they've got all that excitement and that emotion and that readiness to take action, if they don't take action in that moment, they most likely will not ever take action. So if you're a salesperson, or if you're on the other end of the equation where you're the buyer and you're about ready to invest in something, let's say you go to a 2-day event, or you have an amazing 45-minute sales call and you've got all that emotion and you're fired up and you're ready to take action, and you're like, let me sleep on it. Let me pray on it. Let me talk to the husband or the wife, right? You're almost certainly going to kill off your dream. Because what's going to happen is, as soon as you move away from that heightened state of readiness, that courage, right, that you've built up in yourself and other people have built up around you, not to sell you, but to help you get what it is that you want, to help you through your own humanity, right? As salespeople, we're almost like coaches and therapists, helping people overcome their mind trash, their limiting beliefs that we all have, myself included, that's going to stop me or stop you from taking action on getting the very thing that you went to that event to get. Right? Are you picking up what I'm throwing down here? So your brain is automatically, if you don't take action in that moment, your brain is automatically going to go to work unless you're incredibly intentional about literally writing down all the reasons why you should do it. It's a great thing to ask your prospect to do, by the way, if you're in sales. If they do need to think about it, take tonight and write down all the reasons why you should do this. What's this going to do for you? Or get them to say that to you literally. I get it. I get you don't want to do this, but I'm just curious, why would you do this, right? Get them to state the reasons why they would do it, because it's going to help them sell themselves and re-engage that courage and that commitment to actually get what it is that they came to get, right? But if you don't take action, right, and you go away, your brain is going to naturally go to work to annihilate that idea. It's going to look for all the reasons why it won't work, right? Because it's going to go over to the danger corner instead of the natural, healthy fear. I'm about to make an investment. I need to be a little bit cautious here, but I also need to be courageous to get what it is that I want. Because the only way to get to another state is to take different actions. And a lot of times investing in yourself is that action. Just reminded myself, there's an amazing, I think it's a TEDx talk by Mel Robbins, one of the most famous, probably the most famous female speaker on the planet right now. She has a talk around the 5-second rule. I Google the 5-second rule, and it says something like this. Don't skewer me if I don't say this exactly correct, okay? But it's something like this. And it's not, gentlemen out there or anyone that the 5-second rule, dropping food on the ground. That's not what I'm talking about. Basically, it states that when you have an inspired thought, when you have that urge to raise your hand in class, any students out there, or when you have that urge to go up and ask that woman or that man to dance, or that's like old school days, right? Or to go out on a date or whatnot, if you don't do it within 5 seconds, your brain will go to work first of all, you won't take action. That's number one. But number two, the way you reconcile that and don't beat yourself up about not taking action is your brain will naturally go to work on all the reasons why it was the right choice not to take that action. It's bonkers. It's crazy. This is how our brain works, right? I told you I'm a little psychological. I get a little geeky on this stuff from time to time. So it is in your best interest when you do have a desire, start counting, baby. You got 5 seconds. Take the freaking action, because that is going to ensure that you get to the next step, right? Is it going to ensure that you succeed? No, you need to keep taking action. Tony Robbins says, never leave the sight of a great idea without taking at least one action, because Tony Robbins is a master of psychology and human behavior, and he knows that if you don't put some forward momentum in place, one simple step, after you have that idea, your brain is going to go to work to annihilate that idea because you're not going to take action. And rather than feel bad about that, your brain's going to go to work to reconcile and create reasons of why you didn't do it so that you feel okay. And so the world is right. Okay. So just a couple tips here on sales, but ultimately, again, sales is not a dirty word. Sales is one of the most noble professions on the planet because you get to, by the way, if you're in sales, you get to. That's a huge reframe. Not I have to make cold calls. Not I have to have these difficult conversations. Not I have to get all these no's before someone says yes. You get to, my friend. You get to be the hero. You get to be the one that helps people achieve those goals and to get the very thing that they came to you to get. But it's your job to master the craft, my friend. It's your job to master the art of asking questions, of really getting in the world of the pain of that other person and help them see that that pain is going to stay there unless they take new actions, and to help them understand the psychology of taking action, right? If they don't take that action, they're likely never going to take that action. So it's your job to really inspire them, to really help them see what's possible and also what's probable if they don't take action. Again, as a salesperson, you are a coach, you are a mentor, you are a master of sales. It is also almost like a therapist. Like I said, you have to help them overcome their mind trash to keep that at bay and keep that courage up and help them take action. And anyone out there that's listening to this and you're not in sales and you're like, well, they're just trying to sell me. Yeah, maybe. And if they are not centered in themselves, you can practice these practices called black sheep habits, which I highly recommend every single salesperson out there does practice black sheep habits. It's going to help you stay stable, stay off of having commission breath and being really, really there to provide value to that other person and to help solve their problem, grab the Black Sheep Habits. They're free. blacksheephabits.com. You can download those for free immediately. So check those out. That's going to definitely help you. I got a whole story around that I want to tell right now, but I'm resisting. I'll tell it in another video. So you want to know that maintaining that peace in yourself and that giving, like you're there to serve them and to help them, that is where you're going to be successful, right? And know that you are there to help them overcome the challenges that they have, to take that action. Sales is not a dirty word, friends. Sales is, again, one of the most noble professions on the planet. Oh, and this is what I was going to say. If you feel like you're being sold and you're like, oh, they just want to give all this energy and I'm going to make decisions on emotion. Yeah, it's not because they're trying to trick you. It's because they understand human behavior. They know that if you don't, and a lot of times they don't even know this, I'm giving you encyclopedia's deep distinction about how sales works and why sales systems are designed a certain way. A lot of regular salespeople, they don't even know why they do this. They're just like, this is what the person before me told me to do, right? And I'm trying to pressure them in. And that's where you can feel pressured when that salesperson doesn't understand sales at the level that we're talking about it right here. The reason why they're creating that urgency is not to make you feel uncomfortable or to pressure you into doing something. It's because I understand, they may not understand at the time, but the mechanism is such that if you don't take action while you have that heightened level of emotion, energy in motion, where courage is present and a clear vision of what you want is present and a clear view of where you're at right now and the pain that you're experiencing, knowing that that action, that investment is the bridge to go from where you are now to where you want to go. It's vital that you take action right now. Because if you don't, you're not going to take action. I always used to say on the phone, if you don't take action, you're not going to take action. Period. So folks, if that's useful, leave a comment in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. My name is Clinton Young. I'm an international keynote speaker and sales communication coach. I've literally sold right out of the phone book. My first job second job out of college, first job in sales. I cut my teeth literally dialing out of a phone book. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than maybe I look. I don't know. The whites here are showing it off. But I've dialed out of a phone book. I've literally sold jobs. I've sold advertising. I've sold real estate as an investor. I've sold high ticket education. That's the bulk of my career. High ticket education, anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 in education sales at a time, packages. I've sold my own coaching services, my own speaking services, and I've been very blessed to speak all around the world with one of my keynote messages, reigniting the human spirit. So if you feel like I could add value to your organization from a sales consultant perspective or from a speaker perspective to come in and help train or inspire your team, definitely reach out to me. Check me out at clintonyoung.com, and I look forward to chatting with you all soon. All right. Bye for now. Take care.